Yo, what is going on, guys? Element Games here, back with you for another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at this poll I made on Twitter. It's been a decent bit since I've done this. It's already been, I think, 2 weeks plus since then. But yeah, I made this poll not too long before the anniversary. Just wanted to do an interesting question here. But, I guess it helps because I didn't really know what to record today, and, now I got something to do. Almost forgot this was here. But yeah, got this poll. Simple question I asked in the beginning. I was saying, if you guys were to choose for like what to use your CC on, what would you choose? Either summonable units, the new ones obviously, or would you rather use it on ZENKAIS? And then I said it might be used for a video. Turns out it is. And so yeah, in all we got 51 votes, and yeah, I guess we could see I did want some people to reply, so we do have some replies down there. We could probably expand on it a little more, obviously. But yeah, so first of all, you see here it says 74.5% to summonable. So yeah, it seems like a lot of people rather use their CC on summonable units rather than ZENKAIS, which if you guys want to know my pick, obviously I'd say yes, I love summonable units. I feel like my opinion that goes towards it is like ZENKAIS are cool for the beginning when they drop. You get to see your old units doing stuff again that are really nice, doing really good damage, doing just really good in general. But then after a while it kind of gets boring because you kind of sitting there, you're like, okay, we're kind of using the same old unit, we don't got any new animations, nothing new really. So it's just like, well, it's not as fun as when you get a brand new unit, say like for example the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and you're just having really fun with him because his animations are sick, he's a really good unit, he's new, it's just really fun. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I think that's a lot of people's as well. I know a lot of people really like, summoning units rather than just using old ones, yeah, but that's my stance on it. But yeah, we can basically look down here. We can see what people said. So, Suyo, he was saying, I enjoy summoning so much more than doing ZENKAIS, but I feel that the game has transitioned to the point where it's forced. And that's very true, honestly. This game has honestly transitioned to a point where ZENKAIS are the top of the game. So it's like, do I really want to go and summon for a unit where I don't have a guaranteed chance to pull them? Or do I want to go ZENKAI where I have a guaranteed chance to get them and I get a top tier unit? Obviously, the smarter choice is obviously going for the ZENKAI, but for me, that's not why I started playing gacha games. For example, I feel like Dokkan did it a really good way, where they have easy A's. Obviously, it's basically the same system as the ZENKAI, where it's making older units better, updated, and it makes them really good, top tier units. But it's not like, oh, I use them, and it's not like, I think the main issue with Legends, it's like, it's very unrewarding to do it other than getting the unit. But from Dokkan's perspective, you get stuff. You don't have to pay anything to get it, but you get stuff in return. Legends is like the opposite almost. You have to pay Chrono Crystals, the currency, to do it, and then you're good. Now, a lot of that also has to do with the fact that Legends is a PvP game, Dokkan is a PvE game, so it's a little different there, especially when it comes to like how good the unit is and power creep and such like that. But it's still the same. It's semi the same concept. That's basically what I'm saying. I feel like what Legends should do is make it free, like Dokkan does, and then give us souls, Zenkai souls, so we can Zenkai the unit more. That will make it a lot more friendly for a lot of players. That still doesn't solve the issue of like how Zenkais are still just like, not as fun. They're more boring, I feel like, than new units. But I mean, it makes Zenkais less, for me at least, it makes it less like tedious to really do, because I don't have to spend so much crystals and then I have to use all my souls and stuff. It's just really draining for a unit, and I don't like that concept, honestly. Like, Dokkan gives you 30 stones, which is almost for a multi, and you're also getting enough orbs and Kais, which levels up the super attack, which is very good. You're getting stuff in return. That's what I would like to see from Legends, a Zenkai system like that. They have improved it over the time, so we already know that. They've improved it. It used to be like 24 KCC to Zenkai unit, so I mean 21 or 24, I can't remember. But yeah, and either way, it's a huge improvement. But yeah, like what Suyo is saying, I feel like yeah, this is very true, very true. From SJ Gaming, we got. I like the new units and their animations, so I usually use CC for summon, so summon units basically. All right, yeah. I know SJ Gaming. He always saves a lot of crystals. He does Zenkai, obviously, when he's focusing on teams. He plays a smart way, I would say. But yeah, that's the way I like to do it. I like to summon on the new units, not Zenkais. I'll Zenkai units because I already know some teams cannot function without Zenkais. Specifically, GT right now still needs a little bit more help before it can really run without having to run Zenkais. Right now, it kind of needs the Zenkais. So I guess that's a kind of example there. But yeah, I'm in the same boat here. I would rather use my CC for summonable units rather than Zenkais. I mean that's the point I've been making the whole thing basically. From Inferno, new units all the way. Zenkais are so much more boring compared to new units unless it's a unit you like personally. In his case, Super Saiyan 3. Zenkais may rule the meta, but gacha games should be about making you spend money to get new units, not old ones. Doesn't mean I want Zenkai. Yeah, that's literally the same thing I was saying. It's boring to use Zenkais. I feel like over time it just kind of gets boring. I know it depends on the unit, obviously. If you really have a unit that you really loved since they dropped and they get a Zenkai, obviously you're going to be way more biased towards it. But I have a feeling most of the player base is going to enjoy rather summoning for the new units using those units rather than using old units. Not saying that we shouldn't get buffs to these older units, which I do think they should do. I think a buff system instead of the Zenkai system is a lot better. Minor buff that can still make them viable to run, or runnable. Not even necessarily like viable in the meta, but just make them runnable again, not like useless. I think they could have done that, like the buffing system that they had originally, rather than the Zenkai system. Obviously, they'd have to make the buffs a bit more like toned up, because obviously the buffs weren't that major. But something like that, something kind of in the middle, I feel like, of a Zenkai and buff that they used to do. But I mean, I guess it's here's a good example of what they are doing now, which I think is a lot better. So as of now, we have the Blue Gogeta Zenkai he just released last night. And for him, they actually didn't do much. And I'm starting to like the way they're doing these Zenkais. Like newer ones nowadays are starting to be toned down compared to the super oppressive ones like LF Gohan, Android 18, Super Saiyan 3, stuff like that. I mean, LF Super Saiyan 3 was still pretty crazy when he came out, and he's semi-new, like a few months back. But I feel like these new ones, I feel like the SS4s, they didn't do much, and they didn't make them too crazy. Goku's still very good, though. Vegeta's, I think, perfect the way he is. Super 17, they made him pretty good, honestly. He's a pretty disruptive character. But Gogeta, for example, they didn't do much. He's not OP, but he's solid. He's a solid Zenkai unit. Now you're able to run him without worrying that he's just going to get destroyed instantly by all these meta viable units. That's how they should do Zenkais. That's the way I like Zenkais. Alright, so we got something from Izuku. Rather new summonable units. They're way more fun. Also, not too overpowered like Zenkais. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The new summonable units are not overpowered, but they're very good. For example, I think 17, Android 17, is a very good unit, and he's not even overpowered. He just has a really good kit and great utility, especially with this blue card, the Pseudo Lock. I think that's a very good ability. His cover change, strike cover change is really good. I feel like his kit was designed very well. He has a very well-designed kit. Even the Android 18 is very well-designed. I'd say people like Hit, Revival Goku. I like them. I like those type of characters, but they're not too overpowered. That's the type of characters I like. But yeah, so I pretty much get what you're saying there. Ash here. If I use my CC on Zenkai, because in the end of the day, Zenkai always on PvP, so what's the point of summoning on the new units? Yep, that's the thing about this day and age, honestly. Everyone's running Zenkais. If they make a new unit, powerful new unit on Anniversary, and after that ruin it by making LF Zenkai or old Zenkai powerful, then the new unit then the new unit. That is my opinion on this game. Yeah, alright. So, yeah, basically saying here that it's no point in summoning because there's always going to make Zenkai just more powerful than the new units. Now, with this Gogeta, for example, I don't think they made him more powerful than any of the Anniversary units. I think all the Anniversary units might be better, I'd say. But but they made Gogeta good. That's how they should do a Zenkai. Gogeta was a good example of how they should do a Zenkai. Even the Broly, actually, too. Speaking of him, he's also a good way they should do a Zenkai. They updated him, but he's not, like, crazy. So yeah, I feel like that's the way they should do it. It kind of makes people, like, you know, just wonder, like, what should I do? Because obviously I get more value out of Zenkais, but then summoning is way more fun. I'm always just, like, saying, like, gacha games, the point is to summon for new units. Why am I summoning on old units? Why am I going for old units? I know, obviously, for competitive reasons, Zenkais are just the smarter way to go. Hence why I say I don't just only summon for summonable units. I do still Zenkai units, obviously. I cannot do that. Because if I don't Zenkai units, there's no way I can play PvP safely, I feel like. Like, especially if I'm just playing ranked. Especially if I get up to rank 50 plus, stuff like, not plus, but rank 50, you're gonna fight Zenkais all the time. It's just like, you kind of need some Zenkais to, like, you know, even the playing field. So I feel like that's the point there. Pharaoh's just saying Zenkai 100%, and same with Green Ruff, unless the use Piccolo. Yeah, these two, I know they always going for Zenkais, which is, like I said, the smarter way to do it. If you're really trying to play competitively, or you're really trying to play smart, you really should go for Zenkais. That is the best way to play this game. I would hope that maybe down the line, maybe near the end of this year, starting 2022, we could see Zenkais dying down a little bit. Maybe the summonable units, the value on them going up a lot higher. That way, you know, it kind of makes it so it's actually like how gacha should be, where we're getting the new units. We want to go for those units, but Zenkais are still going to be good because you're still getting updates on, like, say you need a color for a certain tag, that color gets a Zenkai on that tag, and you're just like, oh, okay, they're not broken or anything, but they're still good enough to run now. I can run them in PvP and not have to worry about them being utterly trash. And so yeah, I feel like that's the way they should do it. I feel like that's just a really nice way to do it. Johan saying Senkai unless it's a team I use or Gohan. Okay, yeah, same with Green Ruff here. Jurno. Zenkais are obviously better choice, but I have a gambling addiction and I have to summon them in new units. I feel like that's kind of me. I don't have like an addiction necessarily, but I always like I feel like I'm tempted to always summon on new units, even though I'm like, obviously Zenkais are better. I'm just always like, nah, but I want to get this new unit. It's like, we're gonna be really fun if I pull them, which is, I feel like that's just my take on it. Bronze Age Gokuism, Zenkai, alright. And then I think this is the last one here. I'm pretty sure this is multiple replies. Yep. Alright, so from Dirty Saiyan, if the question is, what do I prefer to use CC on, then it's new units. If the question is, yeah, okay, what do I end up spending on CCs with Zenkais? Yeah. If I want to be able to rank PvP quickly, it's in the reality I'm just stuck with. I'd prefer Zenkais never existed. Same with me. Zenkais I feel like they didn't need to exist, Zenkais, honestly. I feel like if they did the buffs, just toned them up a slight bit, because the buffs back then weren't very impactful too much. They made them slightly better, but they didn't impact too much, so I feel like they need to tone them up a little bit. It's kind of like a middle ground between a Zenkai and a buff, and I'd be fine with that as well. Zenkais, they raised the stats completely on these units. I feel like maybe a minor stat buff, honestly, if getting a buff though, would be nice, because obviously old units are not going to have the stats to compete with the new units. Maybe I should make a video on this, but maybe like a kind of buff system that I would like to have in the game. Maybe I will. We'll see. But yeah. Then he also said, in that case, new units. Old units getting Zenkais is pretty boring, to be honest. The hype isn't the same. Yeah, and that's the same with me. I'm just like, there's no hype behind it. It's just like, sure, you get to see a cool unit, old unit, I guess you could say, get a Zenkai. Sure, that's cool for the moment, and then afterwards, it's just either annoying, depending on how good they are, or it's just boring, because I'm just like, okay, well, I've seen this guy before, now I'm just seeing him again. I kind of already seen this. I want something new, and that's just me, honestly. So yeah, that was pretty much all the replies here. Good points from a lot of people. There's different opinions, but obviously each to his own. It's just the way I play. A lot of people play. It's just, it's just how I do things. I feel like I'd rather summon, but you guys, we all have our own opinion. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, check the link in the description. We got a bunch of Discord servers, links, Twitter up here. You can literally see on screen. If you guys watch the whole video, I truly appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace.